What's up guys, today we're doing a delicious T-bone steak, like super thick T-bone steak on a braai. So stay tuned, there's going to be mushrooms as well as baked beans and mealies. Well, what is it, sweet corn? Stay tuned, let's check it out. Okay, and right over here I have 1 kilogram of delicious T-bone steak. Let's just pat it down. Oh, that looks juicy. And it's heavy. Alright, so first we need to remove a thin layer of the fat. We don't want that, the stamped part of it. So let's just carefully trim that out. Let me try and use a sharper knife. Aha! I was trying to keep some of the fat in. As you can see, I cut some of the meat out, which is not good, but that's still fine. So I'm going to tenderize this two ways. Stamping it one way, super big, super thick. And the second step is using meat tenderizer. On both sides. Let's give it salt and pepper on both sides. Thick, but the marinade is going to help as well. Okay, and now for the baked beans salad. Well, I'm really not going to make baked bean salad. I'm going to make savory baked beans. But to make the baked beans salad, the easier way is just to open up the cans of baked beans, use some diced onions, some chili if you want some heat, some diced tomatoes, and that's it. Just mix it up together and you got some nice cold baked beans salad. But in this case, I'm going to make savory baked beans, and this is the process. We'll start off with some oil. Now let's lightly fry the onions. Now there's different ways to cut your chili, but obviously just take out the end pieces. I preferably like to cut them into 3 pieces, just like this. Or what you could do is just slice them in the middle and preferably leave the seeds in. If you don't want them, take them out. Get the chili in there. Okay, yeah, I'm using a metal spoon in this non-stick pat. I'm just going to scrape it down at the bottom. I will be using 2 cans of baked beans. So, since I'm using 2 cans of baked beans, I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri chili powder. And that is it. So if you're using 1 can, it's just 1 teaspoon. And 1 teaspoon of garam masala. That's for 2 cans. 1 can, just half a teaspoon. Just to get it mixed in, so it's not so dry, we'll just add in a bit more oil. Let's just get that mixed in and cooked for just 2 minutes on low heat. So no other spices besides those 2. Just remember, low heat. We don't want the spices to burn and get black. We want it to stay red. So we'll just go ahead and add in the first can of baked beans. Let's just mix the first one in. And the second can. Most definitely you will have beans still in the can. So just add a bit of water, like quarter of the can. Shake it around and pour it in, because we still need water in it, just to give it that slight mixture, boiling mixture until it gets nice and thick. And we leave it to simmer for 10 minutes on low heat, or while we're doing the rest. Okay, I had to take a seat for this one. Now for the marinade. What we're going to use is tangy mayonnaise, lemon juice, some red wine, Worcestershire sauce, we know what that is, soy sauce, some Texan spice, any steak spice that you have, and if you got some Nando's peri peri sauce, it works, gives it that nice flavor as well, and some garlic, which we used earlier on in the video. Okay, first we're going to start off with the mayonnaise. Let's do 2 tablespoons or 3, depends how much you like mayonnaise. It gives it that nice thick batter flavor in it as well. Let's go in with some soy sauce. It's about 100 mils. not too much. It's going to give it that salty flavor as well. Let's go in with that Texan spice. Okay, forget about the Texan spice. I'm using steak and chop spice. My Texan spice got a bit too hard. I think it expired. I didn't use it for such a while. That's good enough in there. Let's go in with that Worcester sauce. This I just learned it from YouTube. I saw a dude make it and it actually works. It makes it quite nice. And you use it in biltong as well. Let's go in with that red wine. This is that mullet wine. Not too much. And some lemon juice. About 2 tablespoons. And a tablespoon of garlic. Now let's just mix that in with a whisk. Forgot the Nando sauce. Let's get that in. Get as much as you like. Now this works pretty good, but now because it's such a shallow dish, it's gonna splash everywhere. So let me try and make a plan with it. There you go, delicious, thick steak marinade. Almost forgot a tablespoon of sugar. Brown sugar will be better, but I don't really keep brown sugar. Now let's just mix that in and then give it a taste before we marinate our meat. Okay, now is the time we can just dunk our meat in. Give it a nice baste. Let's turn it around. And we leave that in the fridge till the fire is ready. Okay, let's go in with the briquettes. It's better to have charcoal, but it's like super expensive nowadays. Let's put enough because we've got the millies, we've got the T-bone, and we've got the mushrooms. Okay, so this braai is pretty much easier to get lit. Just open that tray, let's throw in some fire lighters. Just make sure it's flat down, otherwise it doesn't go through. Let's light them up. And that should catch up on the top. So while we still got the flames going, we can just put the grills on top so it kills all the germs. Makes it easier to braai on. And we've got the bottom part opened here for some air to flow. Otherwise, if we close it, it wouldn't catch that quick. Okay, and to prep the brown mushrooms, all we're gonna need is obviously the brown mushrooms, some salt, pepper, crushed garlic, well, just a little bit. We're gonna need some butter. It's difficult to cut butter into cubes when it keeps on sticking to the knife. As you can see, it's a bit crazy. We're gonna need some cheese, grated cheese, and some foil, aluminium foil, or as they say in America, aluminum. I like that word aluminum, it sounds dangerous. But here we're gonna use some of this. Okay, first let's just lightly brush the mushrooms so it gets a bit cleaner with some water. Just plain water. First things first, let's start off with the foil. Let's get a big enough piece, but I won't cut it off just yet. Now we can just go ahead and add in our mushrooms to the center. Sometimes it's nice to just get this on the grill, but since we're putting so much of filling in it, it's all gonna leak out. So we'll do it this way. Okay, now let's go in with some salt. We can give it enough salt. And some pepper. I like mushrooms and pepper, it really goes pretty good together. Now what I actually forgot to do is just gently, if you maneuver it around, try and get the center out because we'll use that separately as well. So it just gives us more space to work with when we are loading it up with the cheese and the garlic and everything. Just make sure it doesn't go all the way through, we still want the mushroom. Now we can go on and add our garlic. Depends how much garlic you like, add as much as you do. So the crushed garlic I'm using here just comes in the container, store-bought, which is much easier. Now let's just add in the blocks of butter. This one melts, so it doesn't matter if it sticks out a bit. This one's got a nice cup, so I can just load it up with some butter. 2 pieces in where I can. Okay, and these little center pieces from the mushroom, we can just chop them up into little bits. And you can even break it up with your fingers. And just sprinkle that around everywhere. Doesn't matter if it falls down because everything is going into the foil. Alright, and now we can just go crazy with the cheese. And it doesn't matter if it goes everywhere because we're just going to cover it up. Okay, and for the final step, let's close it up. Let's just make sure we have enough of the foil. The other side as well. We're going to just wrap it around one more time. Okay, so there's something else I want to try out today. You find in the shops they sell this dough, practically bread dough, uncooked. So what I'm going to do is try and make it in the air fryer. So I'm just going to use one of these since it's the first time I'm going to actually try this. I'm going to give it some spray and cook. I don't know how it's going to do on this paper. It's nice and yeasty, should I say. I don't know how big this is going to rise, so okay. Let's try and get a nice ball. Maybe we can make a shape or something. Maybe I'll try 2. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. If it does work, feel free to try it at home. Maybe I should try and squeeze a bit more in. I'm just a bit worried. They're off-shaped as well. Now let's try a little bit more. It looks like a mess, and let's see if it turns out a mess as well. Let's spray some oil on it. In you go. Okay, so we got to check out the 5-second rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's hot. Hot enough. Okay, let's go in with this massive steak. That smells good already. Now we've got the mushrooms, so we can just add that to the side. Let that cook slowly. Okay, so I found these metal skewers inside somewhere, but if you've got wooden ones, it'll work. I'm going to use that for the mealies. See if that works. It's going to be easier. Just put them all in. Okay, yeah, that steak is looking good. Let's turn that. Okay, and we can find space for the mealies. Let's put them in the side for now, or one in the back. Give the mealies a nice roast. And if it is a bit too hot, we can just drop the heat with that adjustment. Now we can just baste the mealies. Okay, if anybody wondering, this is an oven safe bowl, container, whatever. It's used for baking as well, so it should be able to withstand the heat of the braai. Here we can just check the temperature of the meat, the inside. It's on 43 degrees Celsius. It must be on 57 when it's medium rare, or just perfect. So we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, at this stage the mushrooms are done, so we'll take this off. Try and get it off gently, and let's move this T-bone steak to the cooler side of the braai stand. And the good thing about this is that the sauce is also getting cooked with the heat, so the marinade is actually sauce at this point. Perfect. Okay, so here we've got 15 minutes, 180 degrees Celsius. Not bad. Better than I thought. I thought it will just flop. Okay, so this looks perfect. Look at that. Let's get it on this breadboard. Okay, let's get our mealies. It's nice and roasted on one side, but it's nice and soft. The mushrooms. Ooh, okay, that's dripping quite a bit. I think I will need to leave that back in this plate. But the star of the dish, this juicy T-bone. Okay, so before we get to the T-bone, let's take a look at the mushrooms. Okay, I'm just gonna have to rip this up. Okay, it looks mushy. It is mushy. So I hope it tastes good. We'll taste it just now. Let's check the steak out first. Let's turn the steak for the best cut. Medium to well, expected on the sides. Let's take a deeper look. Okay, so now it's time for the taste test. The steak looks delicious. It doesn't look medium rare. I don't like my steak really medium rare. I like it medium. This looks perfect, medium. And yeah, the mushroom looks good. Let me start off with the steak. Love this knife. Just cut a piece off the piece I've cut. I did tenderize it twice, so it's got to be nice and soft. This is a nice fatty piece as well. Juicy, delicious. Also, the marinade that was sitting on the fire, it actually turned to sauce. Delicious, tasty sauce. Wow, that is really good. That's a must. Okay, you know, I don't really need to taste the rest because I'm just enjoying this. This is like super delicious. Let me dunk it, put some of the sauce in it. Wow, I didn't know I could make flavor that good. I can't braai, but this is something else different that I just tried out. It's a must. If I just do the normal braaiing videos, no point in posting it on YouTube because everybody can braai. But if you try something different and it works out, it's the best. The mealies, I'm sure it's going to taste the same. It's going to have the meaty taste if I'm going to dip it in the same marinade. Let's just try plain with some salt over. Same old. Nice to dunk it in some butter. Best. I was waiting to try these mushrooms. Try some with some cheese in it. Coming off. Try a full one whole bite. It's good. It's delicious. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to bring the baked beans in. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't just the beans I forgot about, but the bread that I baked. It feels nice and soft. Let's see if I can get a close-up on this. Perfect. So you can actually make that stuff from the shop in the air fryer. Let's taste it out. Wow. Freshly baked bread. Now with the beans. This is the best. You know, I think I've got to go. I've got to say, hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll try out something different if you suggest something. But yeah, this is delicious. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao. Okay, so in this video, every comment will feed one person. So if I get 10 comments, I'll have to feed 10 people. If you get 1,000 comments, I'll have to feed 1,000 people. So that'll be in the video upcoming. Let's see how many comments I get in this video first, and we'll take it from there. But definitely, in the next, let's say, lifetime of this video, however many comments it gets, we'll give someone else a meal.